I think it's green now. I already say receiving content. All right, we back live.
Yo, hey, what you were talking about how people who tried shrooms and whatnot, there's just like a level of like confidence in their approach and their expression. They're just so sure of themselves. There was this dude. I live in the South. There's not a lot of other melanated beings out here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this dude hit me up and he's like, hey, it was a white dude. He was like, hey, we don't have to smoke just to hang out. And I'm like, man, that's really cool, man. Like, that's really cool of you. So he pulls up, and lo and behold, he's got a blunt, and we start smoking as we're driving down the neighborhood, right? And all of a sudden, he starts talking about the emerald tablet of thought.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, whoa. I was not expecting that, but we had a great conversation, man.
What did he know about? Did he ever do psychedelics, or he really just knew about?
Yeah. That same day, he had texted me when he was in school. He's still in high school, but he was on acid in high school.
He's like the good old days, high school. I was like, I wish I had that during those days.
For real, me too.
I probably would have changed science around. Cause I wanted to be a theoretical physicist back then. I wanted to work with equations and think about stuff. I didn't even want to do like experimental stuff. So I had mushrooms, man. I would have been on some Rick stuff.
Wow, dude. I feel that, bro. Back in school, yeah, I was really heavy into like the brain and like how the brain worked and stuff. And like you were saying, I'm a theoretical physicist. That's one of the things that I was really into, theoretical physics.
Yeah, because back then those was the closest people. Those was the closest people to like talking about big stuff that you had to imagine, and when you look up and stuff like that,
right.
like star nebulas and time dilation, astrophysics, like Einstein stuff. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like a level past physics.
Yeah. Actually, stuff that wasn't. Oh no, it wasn't the norm. I'll put quotations around that, air quotes. It wasn't the norm.
Yeah.
And really just expanded your awareness. It was more interesting than anything else in school.
But now it has me think about where does that information lie now? Like in psychedelics, it's like, is that because we imagined that so much that we create that reality? Like the astrophysicists create all of that and made it actual because we imagined it so much? Or was it like something we was picking up on that was always there, we just wasn't understanding it? It's like two sides to that.
I think it's the last part. I think everything that is like you were saying, like something that's already there that we're just picking up on it.
Yeah. It could be like that. Cause it was I like that Terrence McKenna thing where he was talking about how rational science started from inspiration from an angel. I think it was Rene Descartes or something like that. Or I think that's the guy that said, "I think, therefore I am." It was somebody. I think it was somebody back then, and he was saying how he was inspired by an angel, and the angel told him to think of the universe in terms of measurement and number, and then he said from there that's when people started thinking like that. So I was like, it always been like tied together with like people hallucinating. To begin with, people just try to act like it's not, and I think that's why we so far behind. We like, I can imagine all this on my own. I don't need no plane.
I've been curious about that for real. I went through some research into like how something like this can really switch, like on a societal level on this planet. And I don't know if you're into like etymology, but you were talking about the vibration of words and their effect on like the water molecules and stuff earlier. But like with etymology, it's like the study of the true sense of a word. And so I think there's been like an infiltration of the psyche, of conditioning at a very early young age through government, and we know that government really means control of money. And there's different types, like people, you know what I'm saying?
It really does when you
went
break
from-
down a literal word.
Yeah. You know what, Ty? You're all. Hell yeah. That's cool.
I just spent so much time watching YouTube videos and putting it all together with the experiences of myself and other people. I just be keeping notes. That's all.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on? Rate the Matrix?
How you doing, bro?
How you doing, bro?
Doing good. Having a good day.
Hey, yeah, I'm making this show come alive no matter what. Recording, stream, as long as we talking it on out. I just enjoy the talking.
Yeah, me too. I love being around intelligent dudes talking, chopping it up. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what I learned about intelligence too? Like, that because a lot of people be trying to act intelligent, but I learned that intelligence, like, really don't even mean being so rational. Like, intelligent mean, like, the intellect, and then the gents at the end. Somebody broke it down before, this guy Mark Passio, and he's saying gents, like, mean genario, which means generate, like, creative stuff. So, like, you creating, you adding your intelligence with your creative aspect. And I was like, yo, the mushrooms is dope because they brought that back out. Like that kid aspect, like being able to generate, imagine, and like have some something about you still, I suppose.
A lot of geniuses too. A lot of geniuses like Einstein and all that. They acted like little kids all until they died. It was like fun, just being goofy, and they just never grew out of it.
There's no reason to.
You're not living. You're not living life unless you're having fun. You know?
Nope.
And that's how he had his fun. He was always acting like a kid. He took stuff serious as a heart attack when it came to work. But other than that, I guess he was a goofball.
He worked in a patent office. He ain't have a real job. He just like stamped and read over papers, and then on his spare time, just looked over math equations.
He was something else, man.
He enjoyed life. He didn't take it so serious. He didn't believe what everybody was trying to tell him. And he was like, hey, it's my way. He's gonna do it his way.
He knew by math there was dimensions in that too. He knew all that. He was like, I'm gonna have fun. I end up try to do the same thing.
Ty.
Hey.
Yo, Ty. You know, like you talk about the influence. It's crazy you mentioned that because whenever I'm on my lonely in this car, right? I'm in the car right now. This is where I also record all of my music and stuff as well. But whenever I'm on my lonely and then I ponder, you know, the mind and intellect and all that, I've noticed in regards to suffering, a lot of people talk to in this town that I'm in right now. They always talk to me about how they feel and how they're suffering. This stuff, and I actually felt that way for a while, like a year or two. But what really brought me out of that was really understanding what is it that links me to my suffering. And a lot of the time, it's really just your memory. And like whenever you like think about certain things that happen to you, like the past doesn't matter; it's gone. The future doesn't matter; it's not here. What matters is, but whenever you think about things that happened to you in the past, your intellect will start to say, okay, well, since I think that I'm still there, then I'm still experiencing these things. But the fact is, like, you're not really there. You're not in those situations anymore. It's like, it's just your ego. It's just your ego there. It's your self-image.
And you get some type of feeling off of it, too, when you think, like, what should I have done different? Like, that was odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you gotta just leave it. You gotta just leave it.
Yeah, it's like you living in a deja vu loop.
Like I got. Yeah.
What's that time?
No, I was just saying, I was tagging along. I'm saying it's like you in a deja vu loop.
Yeah.
But what was you saying, Ray? What was you saying, Matrix?
I get a bunch. I was talking about just like you were saying, the deja vu, where shit happen all the time. Or I'll be like, I've done this before too. Like that That shit trips me out all the time. Like, I've dreamt it or something. And all of a sudden I get this weird feeling over my whole body. I've been here before. I've done that. It's a trip, too.
It is.
I see a lot whenever I drive and smoke.
That showed too how much we used to driving. Be able to zone out like that.
It's so chopped up.
Yo, I was thinking about the like living through those memories and combining with being combined with deja vu. Like that's how I'll be getting out of it. I be thinking like exactly what you said. I'd be like, wait, this is just a memory, and I'd be like, let me do something different this time, or wait, this not even happening no more. I'm literally doing something else right now. But I like that picture is vivid in my head, like I like that movie or some reason. Like let me enjoy another movie right now.
It really solidifies what can be described in words. It's that nowness, that beingness, that antenna state that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. And I know when some people hear that antenna state, they be freaked out. Like what?
Ty, you ever ate morning glories?
No.
Hey, I've ate Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds.
I heard they're similar. Did you enjoy it?
I had a terrible time.
Yeah. I heard it makes you I heard it makes you vomit like crazy.
Every time.
Every time.
I looked in the mirror. While I was in the bathroom in the middle of the night tripping, and one of my eyes were dilated all the way, and the other one wasn't. And I was like, hey, "What? That's not right."
Brain damage. Brain damage.
Oh, shit.
But hey, yeah, I planted some heavenly blues on a fence, and they're overtaking the fence now. I can't wait till they start putting out.
Wow,
that's crazy. I had a pack a month ago, but they died off because this new guy that moved in next door went by with the weed eater.
Oh, I thought he was doing something.
Through the fence, through the wiring. So it killed them all. But I was getting seeds from them all the time.
The visuals from the Hawaiian baby wood rose seeds were not half bad, honestly. You know,
no, they're not bad at all.
There were times I thought I would see like animals and I don't know, weird stuff going on around me. Yeah, I hope there's no brain damage, but if there is, oh well.
Yeah, you'll get it fixed down the road. Technology's getting better. Yeah, I used to skateboard, so I've been hitting the head a shit ton. And one of the times my eyes did that. They did that for like a week.
God.
Because I hit my head hard as hell.
What was you doing? Like what kind of trick?
I did a 10 stair.
And
I got down. I did a 360 flip, and when I landed, the board shot out from under me, and my head went straight to the ground.
Woo!
Went back hard. That's like if someone threw you down on the ground like you was a fastball. You go down so fast.
I just started getting back into skating.
Well, I skate every day, or I try to.
I wish I could get back out there. I got all that metal in my leg now, too, because I broke my tibia and ankle, too, skating. Doing the same damn thing on a stair.
Dang. That was the reason I stopped a while ago, because I said I wasn't going pro, and I kept hitting my shin and stuff. I said, all right, I ain't going pro. I'm going to stop. And now I can enjoy it on another level. I ain't pushing myself that hard.
You guys want to hear something interesting? This dialogue that consciousness is having, like in this moment right now, using speech. It's so cool because I sit and think about this a lot. Like whenever people talk, we always talk in stories, right? And whenever the story is transferred over to the other human being, images start playing in the mind, and that's literally how dialogue is created and how conversations are formed. So, like, honestly, I think everything from the human perspective through like intellect and through the ego is literally a story. So like whenever I say like I skateboard like every single day, that's a story. You know, like the story of I. But like if I can read the story, I'm not the story.
I know what you mean. Yo, it was a synchronicity. Like, you want to sync up more stuff. I was just watching Star Trek: The Next Generation two nights ago, and it was an episode where Captain Picard, he had to go to a planet. I mean, they interacted with this alien race that their language couldn't be translated through the universal translator. So that's how they communicate with people. And so it didn't work at all. So eventually, both captains from both ships got transported down to this planet, and they still couldn't communicate to each other. But overall, you find out that the other species communicate through metaphors and stories. And that's how, when they tell us, they know the story so well that when they say certain lines from the story, they know what they're talking about, no matter what they're doing in that situation. And they kept saying arms wide open, volcano blast, and he ain't know what he was talking about. He said, I don't know what you mean. So then eventually Picard learned the language by telling him stories from his mythology. He told him like Greek stories and stuff, and then he was able to communicate through his expression. Like, he was only able to know how he expressed. He didn't know like the individual intellectual words, like putting together sentences and stuff like that.
That's cool. That's cool shit. That's almost like a type of abbreviation in writing, but you're just speaking.
Yeah.
You know, you're using shorter words to express a whole damn sentence, you know.
A whole race speak the same slang.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Imagine ending up on that planet and people are just saying random words. I'd be so confused.
Wow.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I see some tripped out shit on Star Trek, man. That new Star Trek was cool. How he came back to life inside that.
I don't really watch Star Trek like that. Oh man, it's been years.
I just heard. I never watched it really either until like someone told me Paul Stamets was a character on there.
Oh yeah, he was. I didn't see that one though.
Yeah, dude, it's all about mycology. This one episode, like. Their spaceship is run on a spore drive that's run by this fungus, I guess. Whatever. The warp drive, you know what I mean? Like the whole ship goes into like a DMT type trip. To spoil the whole thing. They put him back in this like cocoon and stuff of mycelium, and it puts him back together, and he comes back to life.
Oh wow! I heard
that literally sounds like major inspiration from mycology here on the planet, like people taking shrooms and stuff.
And connecting.
Like the MCU. Like he just took it. That's awesome. That's crazy.
I heard him talk about that on Joe Rogan's show. He was talking about how he was a insider for that show.
Yeah, that's neat, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but the character on there, I'm not a homophobe, the character's gay, and I was like, damn, I bet you Paul had a hard time saying yeah to that, but yeah, being on Star Trek, he was probably a fan as a kid and everything. Yeah. I would have said hell yeah, too.
I would have still been on there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I
Make me gay, whatever, I don't care. It's cool as hell to be on TV.
Yeah.
Hey, who tried DMT?
No, I never done
tried it. Yeah, like, have you smoked it?
No, it never came across me. Oh, you did it?
Yeah, I do it.
Oh, man. I haven't come across it either. That's amazing that you have, Rick the Matrix. I've been feeling life kind of like pulling me to it, you know? The other day, here's another story. The other day, I was walking into the gas station, and I go in there to take a piss, and I get done, I wash my hands, and I turn around, and I look at the back of the door, and somebody with a Sharpie said, DMT will set you free. And I was like, wow. That's crazy. I'm like, synchronicity, because I had literally been thinking about it that same morning.
Bro, and once you do it, you can see through everyone's bullshit. You see the world in a different view. It can be prettier, and it can also be uglier. It's a good thing and a bad thing when you open up like that. I try to direct it all towards positive things, and I stay busy. And like with the Dimitri, I keep some because I try to do it once or twice a week, or when I'm feeling bad. Because I got pretty bad anger issues and like bipolar and shit. And it's like an antidepressant. I take one puff, I don't even have to go in. Just hold it in. And then I'm good for like 4 days. And for the first like 6 hours, I'm walking around just grinning.
You vape it?
And and I use a tube, and it works great. And I just take one big cloud. But I go in at least once a week. I try to go all the way in.
That's really cool, man. Have you guys ever tried accessing these DMT secretions, like in meditation?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and it really interests.
See, I have before. There was, I don't know, like, I don't really know how to describe what it is I'm about to tell you, but I laid down on the bed, right, and I put on some binaural beats. I didn't have any weed or anything on me. I was just laying there, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to just meditate and see what happens. And eventually I started feeling this, like, I started hearing this tone, like, in the back of my head, and I felt this vibration going, like, from my feet all the way up to my body, and it was really warm and stuff, and I started seeing things. I started seeing things move. And I'm like, wait, what is that? What is that? I didn't open my eyes yet. My eyes started going back and forth. Like, I guess I was entering the REM state, but I was, like, still aware. I was still aware of what was going on. And I started peering into, like, this other dimension. And there was this lady in a white gown. She was an older lady. She had brown skin. Her skin was really smooth, but it was kind of wrinkly at the same time. And she was sitting there, like, in the lotus position, looking over the forest in the grass. And as I looked at her, I got kind of pulled up really close to her face. And when I got pulled up close to her face, she opened her eyes, and she just smiled, and her eyes were like they were straight white, you know. And as soon as she did that, I opened my eyes really quick, and I was still laying there in the bed, and I was like, whoa. Like, I was not dreaming. I was not sleeping. What was that?
Wow. Yeah, it just reminded me, I was watching this guy, well, I guess he was a psychologist. That's all he was a psychologist. And he did a TED Talk. I never watched it before, but he was saying, what was he saying? He was talking about his patients. He was assigned to these patients that was hallucinating. And it was just had me tying on, like, people unlocking something in their brain just naturally, or not naturally, just coming, that I don't know, that we can experience. But they were saying how they were seeing people, and they would see teeth and stuff, and people grinning at them, and how you was describing it, and just regular people walking around. But they was
situation, Ty. You know my situation. I had my schizophrenia and all that shit, and I hallucinate and all that shit. And fucking yeah, dude. When I do see the shapes and forms, when I'm having a hard time, is when I hallucinate the most. And they're like shadow figures, man. They're like a dark shape of a person, but they really don't have arms. But you can see their shoulders, but they don't have arms, like flailing or anything. And they just basically, like, they'll sit there and peek around corners and look at me, or just stand in the room and talk shit. Like, that's what the voices come from and all that. I'm supposed to take medicine for it, but only when it gets real bad will I do it. But usually when I take a psychedelic, it calms it down, and it calms it down for weeks at a time.
I was gonna say, you are taking a medicine, a psychedelic.
Yeah, well, it makes the hallucinations turn into hallucinations. They don't like it, I can tell when I do it, because they fucking chill out, and they just, like, kind of sit there, like, yeah, and they're all colorful, and they're looking at, like, they kind of give me the feeling that, like, this is lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm having a good old time, and the voices, like, their negativity, their you can't do it, and this and that, and you're a piece of shit, that just stops. Like, they become voiceless. They don't have anything to say after that. They just kind of ride it out with me. And I ignore them, and sometimes they turn into other things. That's just from the medicine now. Because I take a heavy dose.
Honestly, that sounds like a type of pain and like suffering. You said like sometimes you're supposed to take medicine for it, but you go to psychedelics. And I think what you need, man, is just like a change in perspective of whatever it is that you've been gifted with. And I don't want to say gifted because I know what you're talking about. I've had those experiences where I've seen like those shadow beings and stuff like that. I don't see them much anymore. But during those times, like I really beat myself up over it, and I would hear things telling me like, you're not worth it. What I found is that really just rest in who you are now, not like the image of who you are, not what you think you should be doing, whatever. Just chill in what is now. Like, there's not really much that I can really say about that. Like, I think you get it. I think you get me. Like, rest in who you are now.
I understand what you're saying.
And then, like, maybe, like, as soon as you do that, life will bring you graciously to another point where you can have another perspective on whatever it is that those things, or whatever it is that's happening to you. Whenever we hear people, like, have hallucinations and they have schizophrenia or ADHD or whatever, people like to put, like, very negative connotations on those, but that's only what they're pushing on you, pretty much. It's like kind of like the news, they only know so much about it, but
it's all about them selling drugs too.
Pretty much,
definitely.
Pretty much.
Get you on them benzos
because they push that label on you, so that way, oh man, everyone thinks I'm this, and if I take this pill that they say I need to take, then people won't say so much about me, and I'll be one of the robots, just like whatever.
That's how I felt back in school. They gave me ADHD medication. They gave me Vyvanse, Adderall, a whole bunch of other stuff, but I would never want to take it. I didn't want to take it. I don't want to be. They really are. They really are. They made me feel messed up. They didn't make me feel that, one with the people around me. You know what I would get very rigid, and I would do my work. Yeah, doctor or teacher or principal. Yeah, I'm doing my work, but is it really worth it? Everybody tells me they hate me. They hate my presence whenever I'm around them because I'm so talkative. But I don't feel at peace. I'm taking these medicine. I felt like I was taking the medicine for everybody else, not from.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Oh my God, you're the first person I heard say that. And so I learned to live with this shit and be myself. And if I didn't have friends doing it, I didn't. But the people that actually care about me and that are in my life they know my problem. They deal with it. I'm hard to deal with. You know what I mean? I get mad easy and all that shit. But I just do my psychedelics, man, and it just makes life better, man. And they can help so many people. They just need to make this shit okay to have, like across the United States. It'll stop so many problems. Like, there's so many people suffering. There's people that hallucinate like me that just suffer all day, like work.
Hey man, there's no need to suffer. Enjoy your life, like Einstein. Be who you are.
Yeah, bro. That's one thing about me. I still act like a kid, bro. I'm 38 and I climb trees. I don't skate no more. I climb trees and fish and just spend my time outdoors, mainly because the people around my town are closed-minded and on a lot of methamphetamine.
You live in Florida, right?
This town. Yeah, so there's a lot of crazy shit. So I just spend my time with nature now because I got run through the ringer from the age of 16 all the way up until like probably 34. I was in and out of jail and prison and running the streets and doing the whole fucking slanging thing, and making money because my parents split up. So I went on.
Had to get it in.
And I lived fast and I lived wild as hell. And what I used to cope with the schizophrenia then was heroin. I quit that shit about 8 years ago. Haven't used a needle in 5 years.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because I know they made it really come alive, those demons.
I can think.
Supposedly.
I can think. Yeah, for sure. I can thank DMT for sure for helping me quit the needle and the opiate. I mean, I was still doing opiates and stuff, for a while. And it's because I got hurt and then I stopped right away. But I did DMT, bro, and it's like you remember your past, and you remember just now, do you really want to continue this journey this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I had my friend
Yeah,
Tony. My friend Tony, he was like a shaman, bro. He was the one who turned the bark into magic and all that, and he had all the professional equipment. He liked gamma hydroxybutyric acid, and that GHB shit, and he liked that, and he used to make all kinds of stuff. And he came into my life, like, and he left out of nowhere too. It was weird, but like he helped me beat that addiction. He dimethyltryptamine, and then afterwards we took Matocin, if you know what that is. It's synthetic
Uh-huh.
mushrooms, and he showed me pills in his hand, and they just turned into snakes and shit. And he's like, "See, you don't need that shit, bro." And we're just talking and everything, and tripping and having so much fun, and just talking about life and everything. And ever since then, I just haven't done it. I hadn't had the urge, nothing.
That's wonderful, bro.
And just like it woke my ass wide up from that whole crazy lifestyle, and I was gonna die from, and became a new man, and learned to battle my issues without all the hard narcotics. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
hey,
Because
that's a great testimony.
if I'm gonna take anything to redo my head, it's not gonna be a man-made focused on one single
No
chemical.
way, dude.
I'm gonna use
That's
nature, and I'm gonna let nature use its complexity to fix it.
Yep.
That's what it's for.
and really show you what you can't really like come to terms with on your own.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that
It helps
happened a
you
few
confront
times.
certain things
Yeah,
that are within. That's for sure. Hey,
yeah,
do you guys know the constellation Orion?
Yeah. With the three
yeah.
stars in the
Yeah,
belt.
you know the three. Yeah, yeah. So Ty, you're in California,
Uh-huh.
right? And I'm in Arkansas, and Rape the Matrix is in Florida. We're the belt, man. We're the belt of the
Yeah,
Orion of
Oh, the way
Orion
that it travels up.
right
it's a
now.
Yo,
trip.
that's why I was just out looking at the stars yesterday. My daughter, one of her field trips, we had to go to the observatory. So we was out at the observatory last night. It was this guy with this cool ass green laser. I said I need one of those,
Nice.
bro. It looked like he was pointing. Yo, it looked like the star was right there when he was pointing at it with the laser. I said I gotta do that while tripping and be like, yo, what is going on? Cause he was able to point out individual
That's ill,
stars
bro.
and it's like, see that star right there? That's part of this belt. And he was going through the stories of the constellations and stuff, and he knew all of it. He knew all of it. It was cool. I'm gonna be back there.
Bro, that that night I was telling you about with that dude,
Yeah.
after I took the Matocin, he was showing me the stars, and I was like, just looking at the stars. He's like, don't look at the stars you see real easy. Look at the ones beyond it. And I looked hard, and you could see them, and they were real faint and stuff. And I was like, well, I want to see what's behind that one. He's like, well, move the star then. And so I moved it with my hand, and I was like, holy fucking shit. I was like, no way. I was like, holy cow, bro. And so he's like, yeah, he's like, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. It's basically what his whole lesson that night, and that I'm so much better than all that shit. He's like, I said, damn, man, it's starting to get cloudy now. So we were all on this back porch at my friend John's house, and his mom was like a Martha Stewart, so she had her backyard set up all
Uh
trippy.
huh.
And fucking, it was starting to get cloudy. And I was like, damn, bro, it's fixing to get cloudy. He's like, oh, no, don't worry about that. And he looked up at it and pointed, and they started going the other way. I'm like, how in the fuck? My girlfriend at the time, me and him had her convinced that he was from another planet because he just showed up. Like in her life, he moved in across the street from us. And I was like, you are from Mars, because she's never done any hallucinogens or psychedelics, and I was like, yeah, you're from Mars or something. I've never seen anything like this. And my girl's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I am, and all this shit. So we played her for like 30 minutes, just messing with her. It was fun. It was good time.
he that's if his presence
That's how
gave off those
close-minded
vibes,
these
that's what he
people are,
was.
man. It definitely did, because all the science he
Mm-hmm.
knew. Like, we walked, when I first met him, we went in his house, and he was allegedly making GHB, and he has all the professional glass and everything, and he's just sitting there making it, and I was like, wow, that's amazing, holy shit, your mom don't care? And he's like, no. I'm like, holy cow. And he squirted some of that stuff under my tongue. That was the first time I tried that. That was pretty crazy.
What was it like? If you
But yeah, he made all kinds of stuff, and he was good at it, what he did. And then he just moved back to Los Angeles out of nowhere.
He knew how to build his time machine.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I was saying he knew how to build his time machine.
Oh, I wish.
Let me put this back on here.
Hell yeah, he did.
Best traveling machines there was.
Yeah, bro. When he got in trouble, he stole a TV from Walmart. Why would you do that when you know chemistry and can make millions of dollars doing that? But he wasn't about all that. Anything he made, he never sold it, really. He just partied with his neighborhood, dude. He had we had six houses lit up on. We had 6 houses lit up on Moxie one night. You know what that is?
Hey, that was his world. That was his world, man.
Yeah,
There's this story. I'm gonna tell you this story real quick. That's crazy, dude. That reminds me of some dude. Oh my gosh.
It was so crazy.
Dang, there's this dude. Okay, actually, there's a story of this mother and father and their 2 sons, right? And they have an apple tree in their front yard, and they tell both the sons, like, you know, one of you guys will get the apple if you guys can run across the whole world and come right back around to where you are. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. We want an apple, sure. And the oldest son, he runs and he goes and he's making his journey across the entire earth, you know, going through different experiences. And then the youngest, he was just sitting there, and the parents were like confused, like, what are you doing? And then he slowly gets up, and then he walks around the both of them, and he comes back and he opens up his hand. He's like, I need an apple. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you guys are my whole world. You know, you guys are all that I've known. You guys show me and tell me everything that I know. So this is my whole world. This is all I know. That's crazy. That's what that reminded me of. You said that he didn't even do anything with it. He just like partied with the neighborhood. That was his world.
Yeah, he gave his stuff away. He was well off anyways, and he didn't really spend money. He wouldn't shower for 2-3 days at a time. He was crazy. He was well off, and he would just give all his stuff away, bro. We'd have these parties. When I first met him, we had like 35 people just in and out of these 5 houses in a row. Everyone partying and talking and just having a great time, man. And the cops didn't mess with us because no one was being belligerent drunk. We were all just tripping, and we were on Moxie. You know what that is?
No, I was gonna ask, what is that?
It's 5-methoxy methyl isopropyl tryptamine, and he made it.
Oh, I never heard of isopropyl part.
It's called MIPT is what the shortage is, the name of it. 5-MeO-MIPT. They say it's a DMT analog.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Just a little bump, bro, and it makes you trip like you did shrooms times 10. Not quite DMT, but it makes you feel like you did shrooms times 10, but you can still function and you're sped up like it has a phenylethylamine in it or something. You know, like cactuses do.
Damn.
And it just makes you, dude, I made coffee on it and drank some coffee, and it was like the most amazing experience in my life. I mean, just everything I did was amazing. Like, it is unbelievable. You could eat on it. Music, you couldn't hold still if music started playing.
You just gotta go with the rhythm.
Without and there was no hangover, nothing. I woke up the next day fine, like nothing ever happened.
That's the wild thing about the tryptamines, they just come and go.
Yeah, great. I don't see. And you're in Chi-Town, so you should be able to call Canada and be like, send me some of that.
Yo, Ty, I just wanted to tell you know, your energy just really brings people together. Like you and True.
I
positive way, help consciousness, help us awareness. And I'm glad your posts and stuff all this time.
Me too. I want to tell them it's not about having a million, billion fucking viewers. It's like about if they want to listen. You know what I mean? Because like you're spreading a good ass message. It's all about if the people want it. You know what I mean? Because you're on point. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm with that. Thank y'all.
Some people just don't want it, to listen to, so like True says, and we always talk about it, people think we're crazy in some groups, but fuck them. We got each other on,
It's all part of the picture. It's all part of the real picture, at least.
Yeah, bro.
Not just somebody painted portrait.
I had a dream the other night that all of us fucking got hooked up somehow for some reason, and we saved some shit from going down in our country getting fucked up just by using our minds. It was like a remote viewing type of dream. And I was watching something on this conspiracy channel about remote viewing beforehand, so that's probably why I dreamed about it, but it was cool.
Yo, I just thought of this. What if we actually did, like, move to other realities already because of how we coming together and because of what we did, and we branched off from realities where those tragedies they was trying to show us actually did happen. And we just got out of that.
That's why. That's cool to think about, like, we branch off talking about.
Hell yeah.
We're all connected and we branch off like a tree, and then every time we meet someone new and become part of their reality, we're creating a new reality of our own too. And so are they. You know what I mean? That's cool as fuck.
And just come together and make something new right on the spot, like instantly.
Enough of us thinking together can make a whole new planet for us to live.
Yo, you just reminded me of X-Men. I brought this up a while ago. I gotta catch up on the comics though. I only read the first two. It's called House of X, and Professor Xavier, and it's like another timeline of X-Men, and he makes his own planet for the mutants to live on. And the way you access it is through a portal, and you have to like ingest this plant, and it only allows mutants through. But now they want to allow some humans to come through, and that's where they start the story at.
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to check that the fuck out.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, the other night, dude, I went in on DMT, and it was the first time I saw the lady. I was in the kaleidoscope geometry room, chilling, just checking everything out, and then like how a face will like press up against the plastic or like a sheet or something, and it makes the shape of the face. Well, the kaleidoscope designs did that, and like a face was pressing through the designs that I was seeing, and they were still moving on her face and everything, but it was the shape of a woman's face. There was no denying it. And even the eyes, they were spinning. The inside of the eyes looked like a pirate ship wheel.
Like it just keeps on going?
They looked like that. They're just spinning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's the wooden circle with like the knobs, but they were blue. It was blue. Her eyes were blue. And then the ship wheel things were blue. But yeah, and that's the first time I saw her. And she's just looking at me and talking to me telepathically, pretty much. But I couldn't understand or can't bring back anything she said. But she was saying something because I looked to the left for some reason, and then it just disappeared. And then I came back, looked back, and she was gone. It was just geometry when I looked left and geometry when I looked back for her. It was gone. It was weird. It was like someone peeking in on me and then disappeared.
Wow. How did you feel when you saw her?
That was the first time I just felt like I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't feel like I need to run. I don't, I was wanting to ask questions, but I knew I couldn't speak at the moment, but at the same time, I was awestruck and really couldn't think too much either at the moment. Like, I couldn't gather it all together because I was just so, like, blown away.
Wow, that's dope.
It would have been cool to be like asking questions, man. I hope it comes
Was
back
you in your
again.
room?
I'm probably gonna meditate the same
Well, it
way.
don't matter where you
Mindset.
was at once you take it.
Usually when I'm on my spot on my
Mm-hmm.
bed, like I got a mat next to my bed, and I'll sit there, and I'll meditate, and then I clear my head for like 20 minutes before I smoke. So that way there's just like blank when I'm thinking, it's just black, you know. I'll still hear the blah 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 blah, the anxiety and all the stupid things, but then I'll just smoke, and then it just goes away. Schizophrenia goes out the window with DMT when you go in. It doesn't do anything. It's like gone completely, 100%. But when I take those little micro or macro doses during the week with the hallucinations and all that, if they get bad, when I get aggravated, it slows them right the fuck down.
Mm.
I think it's a serotonin rush or something. They don't like it.
It's something they don't like. Every time you say it, it reminds me of my
They don't like the
experiences.
fact that I'm not upset.
What were you saying? Yeah, that you're not upset about them. Oh wait, it's going out again.
Damn, you're bear.
Wait, can you say that again?
I said he broke up.
Yeah, I had to put it back on the tablet. I'm gonna just keep it on the tablet. Well, what was you saying about that? About how you feel about it?
Just it's the way I felt more like just love, like not that's cliche, that's what everyone says, but I felt like I was safe, not like love, like warm, overtaking me or anything. I just like was blown away more, like whoa, holy shit, wow, okay,
Like you could be blowing up and you still safe. You're still cool.
yeah. Some crazy shit could have walked between me and her like an alien or something. I would have been like, whatever. I'm trying to talk here. Trying to talk to this lady. Get the hell out of the way, you dumbass alien. I don't see a lot of this stuff people see. Like most of the time when I see shape like things, they're mostly just the shape of things, like with lots and lots of colors. Dude, I had trees one night, like, grabbed me. I was in, like, a rainbow type spider web, and trees grabbed my ass. And I kept hearing fucking, you see what you do to us? You see what you do to us? You see what you do to us? And I looked down, and my arm and leg was getting cut by these rainbow, like, ropes. And then that was it. And then I was, like, kind of scared. And then it fucking went back to more colors and geometry.
Wait, the rainbow ropes was coming from where?
Ropes sound like thorns, man.
They're probably vines or saw blades or something. I don't know.
They was like they thorns. They astro
People say they
thorns.
actually see stuff though. Like they'll actually see physical objects. But everything I see has got the color in it. Like it's just the shape of it usually. Like I can make it out. It's like the outlines. Like when I saw the face though, that was, I almost seen eyebrows on it too. It was weird. There was like a spot that wasn't moving above her eyes.
Yeah.
That was like a squiggle, just like someone took a pen and ruined the good artwork or something. You know what I mean? Just like drew on a piece of paper with all that art. Just like
In the middle of her forehead.
You know, on her forehead, above each eye, just
above
eyebrows.
each eye. Oh.
And for some reason, I was focusing on that too. Her eyes and her eyebrows. Like, pretty fucking amazing. But super flawless face, almost like a mannequin face. Like the expression.
Like solid.
Just like that weird stare.
Like they try to give models when like a model look.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Like they not smiling, they not frowning, but it's like you interested.
Yeah, I gotta fucking definitely. I'm when I get my settlement, I'm gonna take a trip, man, and I wanna fucking pick up Ozo, bro. Cause I wanna get a little RV, cause I wanna live in it too afterwards and travel. But I definitely wanna take a trip and pick up a few people. I'll let the group know when I'm gonna do it. Because my money's coming here shortly. Everything's finally closed with the lawyers and all that stuff, so.
Yeah, you set it all up.
Fucking also, everyone's saving up so getting money for that other camper.
Yeah.
I'll get the camper, but just everyone else throwing on gas. That's all, and we'll fucking go. Cause I'd have to go to North Carolina, probably Boston, and then if you wanted to go, Illinois, and then probably head to Denver and then to True.
I'm already in California.
Oh, that's a.
Oh, you're in California?
Yeah, I'm in North. Yeah, I'm in NorCal. I'm in Butte County.
I thought you were in Chicago before.
Oh no. I thought you were talking to Samaj when you said that.
Yeah, you're in North California, so yeah. I want to see the whole entire state because I want us to go to Seattle too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's That's in Washington, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Washington State.
I want to go there to pick
I'll be
mushrooms.
cruising. I'm gonna spend a whole year just cruising, man. And whoever wants to ride can ride. And then after that year, I'm gonna fucking go out and do my own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a year.
Take a year, but I mean, throughout that whole year, I'm gonna dedicate my time just to fucking linking us all up. You know what I mean? Because it needs to happen.
People spend 4 years.
Tremendous things for me, man. Just talking to you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say people spend 4 years and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars at a college speaking to the same group of people.
Well, you go travel.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy.
My family thinks I'm insane because that's actually what I'm saving up for. I'm saving up for a van, and I want to trick it out, and then I want to create like a caravan of people who just want to go. That's insane, man.
Those stealth vans are cool. I want to do a stealth van, but then I was thinking about the group too. So I want to get like a fucking
I'll be right back.
motorhome instead. So there's like at least room for 8, and I'll bring 4 or something, 4 or 5. So if there's room for 8, we're all comfortable. 5 people, and everyone else will be doing most of the driving because I fucking hate it. I hate driving. I don't like it. But I'm gonna get that. I'm getting that money, so that's what I want to do. I'm not bragging. That's just what I want to do.